put me on a poll and call me a stripper because I'm not going to college.
Oh, here it goes.
Hey guys, it's Shay, and today I'm bringing you guys with a college stats video. I have my laptop, so I'm gonna go through all the categories. I have everything broken down for y'all. Sorry if there's like a ring in my eyes. Without my glasses, I won't be able to see this, so just stick with me through this. So yeah, let's just get into it. I'm gonna tell you guys the colleges I applied to and got accepted to. If you want a breakdown of like the scholarships they gave me, that's in my college decision video, so I'll put that link somewhere in this video. So I'm gonna tell you guys the colleges I applied to, got accepted to, break down my placement tests, so that's PSATs, SATs, Accuplacer, which I'm gonna explain because I don't think everybody knows about Accuplacer, and then my GPA courses and rankings for my high school courses and classes, and then I also took college classes while I was in high school. So I'm gonna tell you guys all of those and some of the extracurricular activities that I did. I didn't do a lot, so that's gonna be quickest. Okay, so the colleges I applied to and got accepted to in Clark Atlanta, of course, that's the school I'm going to, Hampton, Howard, LSU, North Carolina A&T, Penn State, Spelman, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, University of Maryland Baltimore County, Xavier, Ohio, and then Xavier University of Louisiana. So I didn't apply to any Ivy League schools because I didn't feel like doing the essays, and at the time of applying to colleges and applying for scholarships and all that, I was not in the best mental state, so I didn't have the energy to even try. The only reason why I wanted to apply to Ivy League because I just wanted to see if I could get in, but I didn't really want to go there because that's a lot of work. So those are the colleges I applied to, and like I said before, I got accepted to all the colleges I applied to. So we're just gonna go into my PSAT scores and breaking down the scores I got in each section. I took PSAT in the 8th grade, 9th grade, and the 10th grade, and then I started taking the SAT in the 11th grade. So PSAT in 8th grade, which I don't know if this really matters, but you never know. So I took the PSAT for the 8th grade one, January 13th, 2016. I got 1050. I got 540 on my reading and writing section, and then I got 510 in the math section. October 19, 2016, I took the PSAT again, got 1070, 550 on reading and writing, and then a 520 in math. And then there's a section that says test scores. I don't know what that means, but for reading I got 28, writing and language I got 27, and math 26. And then in 10th grade I took it again October 11, 2017, and I got 1170. For reading and writing I got 620, for math I got 550, and then the test score sections I got 31 for reading, writing and language I got 31 again, and then math I got 27.5. So that's the PSAT sections. I know you're supposed to take the PSAT in 11th grade in order to qualify for a scholarship, but how my school is set up, they didn't give us that option. And if you wanted to take the PSAT, you would have to take it at a different school, and you would have to miss a school day. And they were really strict on that. They were like, if you miss a school day, I don't know what they was gonna do. They wasn't gonna do nothing. They're not about that life. But we also had college classes, so I wasn't really wanting to miss college classes unless I knew we wasn't gonna do nothing. But then don't skip classes. So I didn't take the 11th grade PSAT. So the SAT scores and breakdown, I took the SAT 3 times. I could have took it another time, but again, during this time period, I was not in my best mental state, so we did not do that. I just want to say my goal for the SAT was to get a 1300 because I know for Spelman, in order to qualify for the presidential scholarship, you needed to get at least a 1330, I think, or 1300 to even be in the competitive realm. So that was my goal, but then I realized I didn't want to go to Spelman. So after a while, I just stopped caring. The first 2 times I took the SAT, I took it with the essay, then the last time I did not. So I took the SAT for the first time in 11th grade on December 1st, 2018, and I got a 1210. Reading wise, I got a 610. And then math I got 600, and then my essay for the reading section I got 6 out of 8, analysis 4 out of 8, and then writing 6 out of 8. 11th grade year I took it again March 9th, 2019, and I think this was when everybody took the SAT this day. Again, my school did not offer this, so we had to take it at different schools. I know some people took it like during the school day. The school paid for it, but we had to take it at a different school. The second time I took the SAT, I got a 1240. My reading writing score was a 650. The math part was 590, and then the essay for reading wise I got 7 out of 8, analysis 4 out of 8, and writing 6 out of 8. And then the last time I took the SAT was in the 12th grade, October 5th, 2019. I got a 1260. Reading writing I got 630, and then it's the same thing for math. Now for the SAT, for some schools they take a super score, so they take your highest reading and writing score and then take your highest math score from any SAT you took, and then they combine it to make that your super score. So my super score was a 1280 because my highest reading and writing was 650 and my highest math was a 630. Like I said, if I took it one more time, I probably would have got a 1300 because each time I took it I went up about 20 points. So if I would have did it again, I probably would have got 1280, and then somehow, some way, some super score, I probably would have got 1300. But again, did not want to take it. I was done with placement tests. I was come city say I didn't even want to go to college. I was just like, bro, put me on a pole and call me a stripper because I'm not going to college. But you know, we better though. We better. I don't know if I said this already, but for the SAT, I didn't really study. I did take a free prep course at Howard University for the first time I took the SAT, and then the final time I took the SAT, I took a prep course, forget what it's called, but I really didn't study as I should have because like I said, I was out of it. So the other placement test that I took was Accuplacer. So Accuplacer is a college placement test to determine which college level math course you get. I don't know if this is important for you guys. I don't know how this will play into your future, but I thought we should just put it in here. There was a math section, a math portion, and then there was a reading and writing portion. So we took the math portion at a different date, and then we took the reading comprehension another month. So for the math section, I took it April 13, 2018. This was in 10th grade. I got a 105. I don't know what the highest score was. So the reading comprehension, sentence skills, and the English score sum, basically both of those together, were all taken on June 7th, 2018. For the reading comprehension, I got a 101. Sentence skills, I got a 93, and then together I got a 194. A 93 is kind of low, but let me explain myself. When we took the math part, we were in like a classroom. We were in a testing center, but it was basically like a small classroom. So when people left, it didn't really affect me because I was on the front row, first of all, and it was like only a few people leaving after me. Then we took like a lunch break at some point, whatever. But for the reading section, we were in a testing center. Is basically where you go to designate a place for everybody to go to take their test, like in the whole school. How it's set up is like kind of like a computer lab basically, and everybody's at a computer and whatever. So when I was taking the test, I could see my friends leaving and I just felt bad, and I didn't even care at that point, so I was just like guessing. So but for the English, all you need to do was to pass in order to take English 1010. There was no higher level you could have took. Everybody, as long as you passed, everybody would take English 1010. But for college level, it would determine which college you placed. So if you placed below like algebra and stuff, I think that's basically failing. But there was statistics, pre-cal 1, pre-cal 2, calculus, calculus 1, and calculus 2. I think the highest of my 105, that qualified me for calculus 1, I believe. But because I never took calculus or pre-calculus, before I even took the test, the only highest math I ever took was algebra 2, and that was high school. So I qualified for calculus 1. Somebody signed me up for pre-cal 2, so I didn't even take pre-cal 1. So now I'm going to get to the GPA courses and rankings. I'm going to quickly go through high school real quick because I took more. Why are you going to be so rude? I'm going to quickly go through the high school stuff because I took more college courses than I took high school courses. So 9th grade, I took basically almost all high school. 10th grade, basically almost high school. But 11th grade, I only took one high school course. And then senior year, I didn't take any high school classes. So my GPA for high school was a 5.0. I got all A's. I've been getting all A's since 4th grade, small flex. I was in the top 5% of my graduating class. Let me go through these courses real quick. And this is chronological order. So 2017, I took biology, psychology, ELA 9, which was English Language Arts, 9th grade, geometry, Chinese 1. My school didn't offer any at this time. Now they have 2 freaking foreign language classes, but at our time we only had one foreign language, and that was Chinese. Now they have Spanish. Chinese wasn't even that bad. It's like United States history, sociology. For biology, we also had bio seminar, which is basically biology, but like more biology. I don't know, bro. So I took math seminar, which basically prepared us for Accuplacer. I took computer software, and this is in 2018, computer software AP, critical reading, which is basically also another class that they had us take to prepare us for the reading section of Accuplacer. I took local, state, and national government and chemistry, and then English and language arts 10, algebra 2, Chinese 2. Then 2019, the only class I took was English 11. Now moving on into the college section. Moving on to the college section. My GPA was a 4.0. My ranking was highest honors. There are a lot of courses here, so how I organized it was by the semester, the class, and then how many credits I got, and then like I said, I'm going to tell you the total earned credits and then my total grade points. I don't know what that really means. So starting off in fall 2016, so I was in 9th grade, I did circuit weight training, which was 1 credit. First year experience seminar, 1 credit. I did spring 2017, I did cardio fitness, which was 1 credit. Fall 2017, I did intro to information technology, 3 credits. Spring 2018, first aid emergency CPR, 3 credits. I also did general psychology, which was 3 credits. And then fall 2018, this is all 10th grade, I believe, is introductory nutrition, 3 credits. Pre-cal 2, 4 credits. Modern history, 3 credits. General biology, 4 credits. And introduction to art, 3 credits. Now moving on into like 2019, 2020, it's gonna be a lot of science courses because I have an associate's degree in journal studies, but it focuses on health sciences, if that makes sense. So spring 2019, music appreciation, 3 credits. Human anatomy physiology, which we call A&P, 4 credits. Human growth and development, which is basically a psychology class, I believe, 3 credits. Ancient and medieval history, 3 credits. Then fall 2019, composition 1, expository writing, 3 credits, which was my English class. A&P 2, 4 credits. Introduction to sociology, 3 credits. Introduction to statistics, 3 credits. Spring 2020, which I just finished, microbiology, 4 credits. Composition 2, writing for business, which is my English class, 3 credits. Foundation of communication, 3 credits. Then introduction to business was 3 credits. So the total earned credits I have is 68. So those credits are moving to my actual university. So they basically took all my credits except for circuit weight training, which was the basic, like 9th grade, like I said, basic courses. So circuit weight training, cardio fitness, first aid, and then they didn't take ancient and medieval history. But everything else that I just told y'all moved on into my university. So they just sent me my transfer evaluation. I'm not considered a transfer student, I'm considered advanced freshman. According to the transfer evaluation, I finished all my freshman courses basically, and then for sophomore year, I think I finished, for the first semester, I think I finished like 1 out of 5, and then the same for the second semester, I believe. And then junior year, I did 2 out of 5 classes, and then the second semester I had to do all the courses for that. Senior year, I did about 1 out of 5 for the first semester, and then the second semester I did 3 out of 5 because the second semester of senior year, 3 of those classes were free electives, and they took like my microbiology and anatomy and all that. They took that as elective. The only courses I have to do that I didn't do this year were like basically my major, which is math, media, arts, and then I had to do classes for my minor, which is business. I already did, like I already told you guys, I already did my writing for business, and I did my business 1010, and I have to do 2 math classes, I think, and a natural science, I believe. I basically have 3 years of college, and the messed up part is that I have 3 years of college, right? So that first year that I have will be spent at home because I'm not going on campus. I'm just gonna say that's 2 years in college, and then on like actual campus. So it kind of sucks because I'm like, I won't be able to create the same bonds people will have. They would only know me for like 2 to 3 years, whereas they would know other people for like 4 years. So I'm like, not that my school is taking my high school experience and my college experience, Imagine. So moving on, my total grade points were 272 points. Don't really know what that means. Now the last section of this is extracurricular activities and internships. Like I said, I didn't do a lot of extracurricular activities and internships, mainly because my school, well, this is not really an excuse, but my school doesn't have extracurricular activities. The only part that has extracurricular activities are the college side. So in 9th and 10th grade, we couldn't go, technically we signed a contract that says you can't do like sports or any other activity because they want you to focus on school or whatever. Some parents took our school way too seriously. During the pandemic, they realized our school is trash. So you hate to see it. Yeah, so 9th and 10th grade, we couldn't join any extracurricular activities. When we got to 11th grade, we were basically on the college side, so they couldn't tell us not to join the college activities. So 11th grade, I joined modeling team for about half of a year, I think. Because after, towards the end, it got a little rocky. I also joined the National Society of Collegiate Scholars, which is, it's this thing they send to us, and it's like basically a National Honor Society for the college, but you have to pay for it. I don't know if it's a scam really. I don't know if it really helped my resume, but considering I didn't do anything else, I was the vice president of community service for this too, so I don't really know. I also applied to the National Honor Society at my school, but they rejected me. However, when I graduated, since I graduated top 5%, they gave us like our cords. Well, it wasn't cords, it was like the sash. I'm just gonna call it sash. I can't really think of what it is right now, but they gave me that. And then one of the things said National Honor Society, but I was never accepted. But I guess they thought, oh, she got all A's the whole year, so let's just say she was part of National Society, Honor Society. I really wasn't. So internship wise, like job wise, I had a summer internship at the Youth at Work program, which is this program where you go to these like seminars and stuff, and then they assign you to a job for the summer. So I did that for 10th grade year, 9th grade, and 11th grade. This lady that I know, like a family church friend, whatever, she owns her own photography business, so I helped her with that. Community service wise, I have 92 hours worth of community service. The required was 24, and I think for Spelman, I did a lot of research for Spelman because that's where I wanted to go at first, but then I realized they didn't have my major. But for Spelman, I think to qualify for a community service scholarship, you need like over 100 community service hours. So yeah, I didn't really do as much as I wanted to do, but it is what it is. I think the problem with me, I didn't fear not getting accepted to college. It was just scholarship wise, and I didn't get that many scholarships. I think my essays are the things that not giving me scholarships, to be honest with you. Like not this essay particularly, but other essays you have to write for scholarships. Like I said, I wasn't not in the right mindset to be doing anything related to college work. Either way, these are not excuses. It's just explaining why I didn't do as well as I wanted to college wise. And also, I'm the first generation in my household. My sister went to college, but I've never lived with her. I've only lived with my mom and my brother, and my brother's in the military, so he never went to college. And then my mom, she got her associate's degree like a long time ago, and she's going back to college now. But I think for first generation, if they got a bachelor's and above, you're not first generation, but if they only got associates, then you are. So we're not really familiar with the college process and stuff like that, so it was a lot to figure out. I think I'm doing another video where I give you guys tips of what I recommend or what I wish I'd done differently, but at the same time, I don't really have any regrets in that regards, because you know, we out here making history, baby, and trials and errors, honestly. You could tell I was depressed because I wrote this. Okay, so my college essay, I'm going to read it to you guys. My college essay starts off with a poem that I wrote when I was having an anxiety attack on my way to school. I was having an anxiety attack. I don't know why. I was just walking to school. No, I woke up and I was just like really anxious for no reason. It was like really hard for me to get dressed and stuff. When I get like really sad or like depression or anxiety, whatever, sometimes I write poems. So for the sake of this, I wrote a poem, and then I was like, hey, we're gonna put it in an essay because I have nothing else to talk about. It's called Overcoming Yourself. Submerged underwater, waves beating down, clawing to be free. Reaching towards the light, just praying to breathe. Your brain signals to the rest of your body that you're dying. It screams for you to just take one gulp of air. This sounds so depressing. Unable to resist any longer, you inhale, taking in only toxin. Your lungs fill up with water, and you begin to die faster than before. The light you fiercely once clawed for begins to blur. It becomes further to reach. You no longer can fight, and the light disappears. This is what anxiety feels like. It's a constant battle within yourself with yourself. It's like a swarm of bees in a hive, a million thoughts racing, trapped inside of your mind, going at full speed. You're unable to escape them because you created them and you cannot run away from yourself. Little things that I used to do in my childhood. So this is when the essay part comes in. Little things that I used to do in my childhood, like uncontrollably bouncing my leg and tapping my finger, or avoiding taller and older kids in my school, pointed towards anxiety. At the time, I knew nothing about anxiety because it was never talked about in schools, in my house, or in the media. My academic goals was to always be the best, whether I was reading 2 books a week with over 500 pages each in order to get the most stars, doing my homework assignments 2 weeks in advance, or writing a play for the National History Day competition. Upon entering high school, this goal became harder to achieve due to the pressure of not only maintaining my 4.0 GPA, which I did, period, but also living up to the reputation of my school while simultaneously competing with 109 other students who are like me but better. In the beginning, the symptoms were still faint. However, completing assignments became harder, hours of sleep became less, and my leg bounced more frequently. Towards the end of sophomore year and throughout junior year, minuscule things began to send me over the edge. For example, at school, I cried over the vending machine prices being raised by 25 cents and the Target in my neighborhood switching the bullseye from red to white. True story. If you want to know a story time, let me know. It's not good days. To an outsider, getting worked up over these things seemed ridiculous. It took me a while to recognize these experiences as anxiety attacks because they didn't fit into what I thought anxiety attacks should look like. I've seen my friends have anxiety attacks. I've seen people on YouTube videos talk about their attacks, and I've seen characters on shows and movies have anxiety attacks. They all had similar characteristics: hysterically crying on the floor, rocking back and forth, and or hyperventilating. But when I had my attacks, I would be crying while simultaneously laughing, which seemed psychotic. Yet for me, it was a mechanism to prevent myself from losing a life. Because of this, I and others around me didn't identify my anxiety. We just brushed it off as being overdramatic. A year later, I am finally able to recognize my anxiety for what it is. By doing this, I'm developing the tools to manage anxiety, and as a result, my anxiety has lessened. It's common for people to dismiss their anxiety or to hide that aspect of themselves because mental illness is viewed as a weakness. I choose to acknowledge my illness, in quotations. By doing so, I hope others feel comfortable talking about it and, if necessary, getting support for themselves. The realization that I suffer from anxiety attacks allowed me to seek help and develop effective coping strategies. Although having anxiety makes life a little more difficult, I'm grateful for it because it makes me who I am as a person and allows me to care. Anxiety doesn't make me weak because at the end of every day, I'm alive and living. And then in quotation marks, I may feel weak, but I know I'm strong. Demetrius Harmon. That was my overall essay for colleges. And then I do have a career interest one because for a lot of scholarships, they ask you what's your interest in your career and what you want to do with it and how did you get to the fact that you wanted to be what you wanted to be. So for the first part of my career interest, I'm not going to go into it because it has nothing to do with my actual career. So for scholarships, I used to say I wanted to be a marine biologist. So the first paragraph I wrote about how all my life I've been exposed to science stuff by my mom, and then my schools I went to was all science based. And then I talked about how in my household, my brother watched certain shows that was like Discovery Channel, Mythbusters. Well, Mythbusters is on Discovery Channel, The Big Bang Theory, and how I related to some of the characters, and that sparked my interest in different science fields. And then I talked about how I wanted to take this science into the real world. When I was writing some other stuff, when I asked about why I wanted to do mass media, I kind of changed it. It was I'm doing all this science stuff, so you would think that I wanted to do something related to science when I get older. However, television and stuff inspired me to go into mass media because there's not a lot of African Americans in that department. Neither is in science, but I relate more to mass media because it makes me become creative, yada yada yada. Oh, I had some more extracurriculars. I'm just finding this, but I was also in the biology club in 12th grade for a few months. My awards. Oh, I didn't even talk about this. Imagine. So the award I got was Outstanding Achievement in Optics and Photonics. This was in 10th grade and was issued by National Capital Section of OSA, the Optical Society, which is NASA. And then the National History Day competition, first place, grade 10, group exhibit, Paranoid to the Gallows, the Salem Witchcraft Trials. And then 10th grade again, science fair, county competition, first place. The project was reacting colors. How does the color of a light source impact the rate of a chemical reaction? And then I was also on the dean's list from 10th grade to 12th grade. That's about it. I hope this gave you a better perspective of how the college process is. I can go into more depth into another video about how I did the college. I don't know, maybe I should do one for like first generation people. Who knows, maybe in the future. But I hope this video helped. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I never tell you guys to turn on your post notifications, but turn on your post notifications so you're notified each time I post. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, shade.day2eyes_. Follow me on Twitter, shade_day2eyes_, or follow me on Snapchat, shade_day_OG. Bye.